So this isn't the video that I planned to make. I made this mistake. I forgot. I counted how many hours, but I added some more. So maybe 24, like 30 hours, I think, or more. Anyways, so this isn't the video you're supposed to see today. What you were supposed to see today was me talking about the 3 different types of stories you can tell if you're a personal brand that sells products. Yeah, instead you're getting a video of my goof, my little mistake that I made. Not little, but kind of. Anyways, so what's the mistake? I had set everything up on my computer for the video that I'm talking about. You know, I set up the files, set up everything on the laptop, and named everything, got all the folders ready. And then for some reason I thought, oh, okay, I did everything. This is the next day, mind you, when I set all that up, right? Next day, I wanted to shoot something else, some other kind of video, and then I accidentally formatted the card before transferring the video from the camera to the computer. It felt like I did it because I did everything, all the organization and everything, completely forgot to transfer it over. So here we are. And I'm kind of doing this run and gun today because today's Friday. I'm trying to have a video out every Friday morning. So I'm shooting all this on Friday, editing it, and posting it later tonight. I might not get the ideal 6 p.m. I want to do. It might be a solid 11 p.m. I don't know. Plus, I'm kind of doing it quick and dirty. So that's why I'm using my phone as my microphone because I don't feel like setting everything up. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit more of what happened and how to avoid this mistake, because thankfully it's just for me. But imagine if you had a client or you do video content creation for anybody or whatever, and you do what I did. Very, very expensive mistake, because not one, do you have to shoot everything all over again, or 2, if you can't shoot everything over again and there's something major that happens with this video, you can also get major consequences. Sorry, my cat and my dog are playing, but anyways, let me tell you how to fix this. So one thing you could do to avoid this is if you're shooting like with a camera, if it allows you to record like double, so meaning if you have 2 card slots, if you can back them up, so that way one is writing the original one, so there's 2 copies of each other all the time. That's normally what I do for photography. But to be honest, I haven't checked if I can do that with my camera. I'm going to check after this. Right now, I'm just kind of in done is better than perfect mode. Yeah, if you can do that, or have a checklist. So there's something called SOPs. I think it's like standard operation procedures, I think. And it's like a checklist. And I heard this guy say it. I wish this was my own unique idea. But he's like, if airplane pilots, if even they have a checklist, you should have a checklist too, because that shows how important checklists are, that they use them to keep people safe and keep people flying safely, right? So yeah, I'm gonna have a checklist now or a little good idea. The way I heard it before is pretend you're not gonna do what you do and you're gonna teach somebody else to do it, but you want to do it in writing form or like a book. That was perfect, because now I can think about it that way. Okay, explain it the way I would explain it if I had somebody else do it for me, and that way I can check it every single time, make sure this never happens again. Although this was a fun little way to make up for it, but yeah, I don't want to go through that again. So that's one thing 2 things you could do. If your camera can double back up, do it. If not, still have the checklist, because yeah, that would have came very handy for me. So last week's video, I was mentioning a book of a couple of stories. So the book is called Made to Stick. It's by 2 brothers, Dan and something Heath, or something like that. But anyways, it's an orange book. You can get it. I'll have the link in the description. But the story is, imagine like you want to talk about how many people's kidneys get harvested, right? Instead of saying a stat or data, something boring like 1 out of 5 people who visit this country get their kidneys harvested. Like, okay, cool, that's just numbers. It's going to be hard for people to remember that. But if you were to say something like the story about it, like that this guy, he woke up in a tub full of ice. And then when he turned on the side, he saw that the little paper on top of it, there was a phone. He grabbed the phone and the paper, and the paper said, don't move, call 911. So then the guy called and he said, hey, like, I woke up in this tub full of ice. Like, I don't know what's going on. I found this phone. And then the person, I forgot what they're called, but the person said, hey, slowly reach behind you. And do you feel anything? Do you feel like a tube? He said, yeah, I feel like a tube. He's like, okay. So I don't remember if it was not, don't worry, but basically like, okay, so here's what happened. Your kidney just got harvested. We're on the way. So when you hear that story, you're going to remember that story more than you're going to remember the 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 people get their kidneys harvested. I even told you that stat a few minutes ago. I don't even remember it, and it came from me. So you're not even going to remember it either. But you're going to remember those little stories. Also, one little story that's in the book too. It's a long story. I'm just going to summarize it. So there was 2 kids that died during Halloween. And when the kids got the autopsy or whatever, it was due to drugs. So what ended up happening is one of the little boys found their dad's secret stash and overdosed. So the dad, to cover himself, he got some of the drugs and sprinkled it onto the candy. And he was like, oh no, it's the candy that came with it. But by the time like they found out that it was actually him, that story already took off, and it became like an urban legend that like, hey, make sure you check the candy because people are putting drugs in there. Nobody ever did that. The dad did it, so that way they don't get caught that, you know, the kid got into the secret stash. I don't know how they figured it out. The book doesn't say it, but yeah, you'll remember that, like, that story that was so impactful. Hey, there's drugs in the kids' candy. We remember that even till today. Look at how big of an impact that had. So long story short is, instead of giving data and facts, yes, it helps, but think of it as supporting. Don't think of it as the main thing. So talk about the story, lead with story, and watch what happens. Thanks for watching this super sweet, quick and dirty version. And if you watched all the way, give it a like. Plus, it'll help me feel better for deleting all of the video I just shot like this week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Next week's video, I'm going to re-record what I was actually going to post this week. So yeah, sorry, 3 different types of stories if you're a personal brand that sells products, and how you can, you know, do that story-driven marketing. But all right, I'll see you in the next one.